Welcome back to the joy of Nietzsche, to a mental forge fired by my feverish fancy to beat upon billets of sturdy Nietzschean poetry, to shake up its very atoms in an attempt to alloy this philosophical steel and soften it with my reflections. May this also soften its impact on our severe modern sensitivities, while the forge enkindles, quote, the feeling of heat in things which feel cold to all other persons, a divining of values for which scales have not yet been invented, a sacrificing on altars which are consecrated to an unknown God, a self-sufficiency which has superabundance that imparts to all men and things. End quote. Where are these altars hidden, we ask? And from what vantage point may they at least be glimpsed and their direction guessed? Nietzsche advises us on this in his poem, Worldly Wisdom. Stay not on level ground. Climb not too great a height. The best world view is found halfway between these sights. Here we are warned about two vantage points that can be strikingly beautiful, enchanting even. But Nietzsche argues that neither provides an optimal worldview, as at each of these scales, important aspects of a fulfilled life can become obscured. On a vast level plane, for instance, the view seems endlessly uniform, and one may think, what could possibly be obscured here? Well, perhaps the beauty of this view lies in what its seemingly endless uniformity implies. A sense of safety, a maximized capability to be aware and prepare for any challenge shadowed on the far horizon. And safer still, this view promises uniform, familiar comforts in every direction into which one may retreat, thus avoiding much of the chance and challenge that enriches mere existence into a fulfilling life. That is what this view obscures. As to Nietzsche, to alleviate challenge is to alleviate life. And who lives on level ground, safely feeding on soft grass? Those Nietzsche describes as, quote, blunt, honest fellows who are ludicrously superficial. Oh, what they would fain attain with all their strength is the universal green meadow happiness of the herd, together with security, safety, comfort, and alleviation of life for everyone. End quote. And what about the heavens? That view can also aid to assess and avoid challenge, to alleviate life. One of the oldest heavenly vantage points is one that views life on Earth as a temporary means to access another infinite world, where one safeguards themselves in the belief that they'll live forever. Thus, they tackle or ignore challenges to give meaning to this belief for another world, while demeaning our finite life on Earth. In the modern age, a more literal heavenly worldview has emerged. One that seeks to assess and alleviate challenge on Earth through technological observation in space, through satellites. These heavenly eyes reveal to us innumerable challenges indeed, from visible storms and fires to invisible theoretical threats that we make visible as outputs from scientific models which can turn heavenly observations into dire forecasts. Whether one's worldview comes from the heaven of satellites in space, or beliefs in religion, life on Earth appears similar, flawed, and full of problems. So, life on Earth must be fixed. The religious must fix it by expanding their belief system to cover the globe, destroying the diverse regional cultural ties that sustainably linked communities to their lands. The scientific, they must also fix it with technological interventions, which often create new problems that then require more interventions, and the cycle goes on, destroying the Earth in the unrelenting attempt to avoid the natural consequences of our actions. Thus, Nietzsche implores us, quote, no longer to thrust one's head into the sand of celestial things, but to carry it freely, a terrestrial head, and giveth meaning to the earth. End quote. And to what vantage point shall we carry our terrestrial heads? Why, to the highest and hardest heights, to the mountains, where our feet touch our mother rock, and our eyes see only that which her mountainous embrace allows, where storms can still surprise us, and tall forests prevent our eyes from prying to their surface in search of a challenge to avoid. Nietzsche describes this worldview as where, quote, "Thou wilt nevermore pray, worship, or repose in infinite trust. Thou refusest to stand still and dismiss thy thoughts before an ultimate wisdom, virtue, or power, or science. Thou hast no constant guardian and friend in thy seven solitudes, on a mountain that has snow on its head and fire in its heart. There is no longer any avenger for thee, no final corrector of your life's text. There is no more reason in what happens, nor love in what will happen to thee. There is no longer any resting place for thy weary heart, where it has only to find and no longer to seek." End quote. So will you seek? Will you orient your view earthwards, not in search of an ultimate wisdom to alleviate, challenge, or acquire heavens, but in the joyful contemplation and contest with life's natural mysteries, and thereby elevate your earthly existence above the green meadow happiness of the herd to an exhilarating snow-capped, fire-hearted mountain merriment? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then again, shatter, oh my brethren, the like button, and tatter the maxims of the world maligners in the comment section below.